6, administrator search.
I was wondering about our meeting with Kathy. We've met with all other department heads, but not you yet.
You meet with me all the time.
We don't really visit though.
But this would be special, Kathy.
Special. Special. Well, you wanna wait till Mark comes back,
Sure.
so you have full council? Do it
Schedule for the 14th.
next time?
Sounds good.
Before
Administrators?
the meeting, before the regular meeting, start early?
Should we do 5:30? Is that tough for you, Bro?
No, I'll make it.
Okay. Let's do 5:30 then, Kathy.
The other topic related to the labor and management discussions that we've had with all of the department heads, I would like to see the council establish some goals for 2011 based on our discussions and taking the recommendations into account, but you know, setting our priorities for 2011 going forward here and making sure that we get the things done that we want to get done. So I don't know if some sort of a process for achieving that. If we all send our ideas to the mayor and individually express our desires for goals in areas, maybe we can talk about that on the 14th and make some action plans. Does that sound reasonable to you, Ted and Robert?
Yep.
I don't think it will take Mark very long to catch up on that, but.
No, I got homework.
Yes. I'll do. Let's move on to the administrator scoring search process. I assume all you did was tally this, Kathy? You did not contact anybody?
No, I haven't contacted anybody. This is just taking all 12 of those scores and averaging them out, and this is the, you know, I thought that was an obvious break, but if you wanted to make a break up under the 50 range, you could do that. You know, just depends. It depends on how many people you'd like to ask to come for an interview, or if you want to do the background checks first on a certain number of them before you decide if you want to ask them to come for an interview. There potentially could be some that something in the background check would make you decide you didn't want to talk to them at all, if there was something, you know, illegal or not good, you know, but it kind of has broken down to, you know, like the top 10 and the bottom 10 and a couple in the middle, so. Or we can, if you want, we can call them and find out if they're still interested, or.
Do you know how many in the top 10 are from far away?
I think quite a few of them are from a distance, yeah.
Could you call and ask if they're still interested, and then maybe we can winnow this number 2, or these 10 down to say 6, maybe 5?
Yeah, we could ask, because some of them may have changed their plans, you know.
Any comment, Terry?
You need to move it along.
Yeah.
And make a decision and move it along, get your process moving, start the interview, pick a number and move it along.
Is it better to do the background check first, then contact the people, or should we decide how many people we
You're
want
gonna
to?
need their authorization anyway to do the
Okay.
background search.
Understood.
Well, we've got all
Yeah,
that
it's
in
it's
writing.
in the
They already
application.
provided
that?
It's in the
Yeah.
application.
Up to you.
Well,
But why waste the time to do a background check on somebody who may withdraw?
yeah,
Mhm.
so
Right,
check
yeah.
to see if they're
We
still
should-
interested.
We
Call
should check
first.
first.
To save some time, you could authorize, up to 10, and if it's winnowed down, you can schedule interviews with the remaining numbers of the top 10, if that's your figure. But I would hate to have you wait till the next meeting to decide that, okay, we called 10 people and there's only 7 available, but, I mean, if your point is you're cutting it off at the top 10, you could, in effect, worst case scenario, interview 10, or however many are available, but I'd like to see you move forward and move this along.
This is my first time through this process, so. What
So
is,
if you,
Kathy, you've done this, let's call it more than once.
yeah, that's true, that's true. So say there are 2 people that aren't interested anymore, do you wanna keep going further down so that
No.
you have 10, or do you wanna stop?
There's a break point here for the top 10, and if 6 or 8 or whatever remain, that's good,
I think 10 is an awful lot to
Yes.
interview.
yes.
It is a lot.
Well, it's a lot to interview, but if you're calling, like we just said, if you call 10, we don't know how many people are gonna say no.
Well, there is another break here of like the first 7. If you
That's
wanna-
true.
If you wanna start with those, and if those 7 are all yeses, then for sure you've got 7 interviews to do, and if some of those back out, then we could keep going.
Okay,
You wanna do
Good
that?
idea. Good idea.
Is start with the 7?
okay, so we
Okay.
start with that tomorrow, Kathy?
Yeah, we can make phone calls
Okay.
tomorrow.
These are average scores.
All 12, the 12 people that scored, it averages everybody out, yep.
Boy, a lot of people scored a lot higher than I did.
It was interesting. Some people were very conservative and some were very generous, and it was different. But everybody, one thing I could see was that everybody was consistent, that's a good thing, I think, that, once you got into a pattern of how you were scoring, it was consistent, so